Sports People Hawaii, brought to you by Jamba Hawaii, celebrating 20 years of blending aloha. 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store. And Vacations Hawaii, Hawaii's favorite connection to Las Vegas.
Aloha everybody, welcome to another edition of Sports People Hawaii. I'm Howard Deshevsky, and coming up we're going to talk story once again with David Taltofi, the head coach of Kaimuki High School, who gave up his dream job because he had a calling to work with Hawaii's youth. Well, now the challenges he's facing with football called off, but the lessons that he's already been instilling in these young men. Also, he was a former Punahou All-Star, won back-to-back state championships, turning two on the diamond, now turned to construction. And the lessons that he learned back then, how he's applying that to building your dream home. And a lot of people are wanting to get fit at home during the pandemic. One problem, finding the equipment you need. We'll talk to Kevin Yoshida about the challenges and what he's doing to help. These stories and more coming up on this edition of Sports People Hawaii, but as always, we get things going with another tip to help you get fit quick.
Get Fit Quick, brought to you by Jocko Rehabilitation.
Hey everybody, this is Jocko from Jocko Rehab. I know something. I know you guys like to travel, and I know you guys like to go to Vegas. So I have some great exercises for you on the plane and while you're in Vegas at the crab stable or at the gambling machine. So the key is those long plane rides, when you're sitting for a long time, you gotta do some exercises while you're sitting in your chair. And one of them is that you point your foot up and down a lot, like every hour. You gotta do at least 20 times, up and down, up and down. The second one is you do circles with your feet. Circles, circles. The other thing you can do is you can put compression socks on, those long socks. Awesome, these long socks that you put on your leg, they kind of keep your leg from swelling. These are awesome things. You gotta walk around a little bit in a plane too. So you got, when you walk to the galley, you gotta do stretches for your arms, like a cross body stretch that Bianca is showing here. And then another one where you go over and you stretch your tricep and you go over to one side with your body. That's a great one too. For your back, because you're sitting so long in one position, don't do that. You gotta bend backwards. Put your hand on your butt and bend backwards. When you're walking in the out of the plane, you gotta stretch your hamstrings. Good. Both sides, and you gotta stretch your quad. You grab your ankle and you stretch your quad in and you stay in place there. Good. So that way you can survive the ride without paying for first class or economy plus, because we can't afford that. All right. Now, when you're in Vegas at the crab stable, you do the same stretches. And when you do that, I can guarantee that you win more money, but less chance you're going to see him in the clinic. I guarantee it.
Get Fit Quick, brought to you by Jocko Rehabilitation, keeping you in the game of life.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by Jamba Hawaii, celebrating 20 years of blending aloha.
Welcome back everybody to Sports People Hawaii. David Taltofi was working on the mainland, had a dream job, but came back to Hawaii because he saw a need to work with Hawaii's youth. Well, now the Kaimuki head football coach has another challenge with football canceled, but he's already a step ahead of the game with the lessons that he's been instilling in his young men.
Play with energy and play with excitement, guys. Send a message. Show the world what we're all about today.
No doubt about it.
When David Taltofi left a high-paying dream job on the mainland to return to Hawaii, he cited a higher calling. It wasn't all about football, and certainly not for the money. It was because he saw a purpose, a void of leadership for young men at his alma mater who needed somebody to help guide them.
The definition of a coach is mentor. I've kind of taken that responsibility to make sure that, however way I can help to contribute knowledge and educate, our kids and our families about what's going on today. I'm just trying to be as helpful as I can, to be willing. I mean, we all have a season, and so I'm not sure what the season is going to be as long as you're going to be here or I'll be here. But while I'm here, you know, it's going to be a season that we're going to maximize as much as we can.
That was this summer when there was still hope the season would be played. Of course, we now know the season was canceled. And for the players for whom the sport means everything, hope has been replaced with heartache.
You know, you kind of prepare yourself mentally as a coach, because I mean the season really relies on your career as a coach, but also the opportunities that you get to coach your kids and your sport. It's hard to describe the disappointment and the pain that you feel for the kids and for the families. So.
I was kind of like disappointed and like sad because I've been practicing my whole life for these sports, and like I see all my friends practicing super hard, especially for the seniors if they want to like earn a scholarship.
Although hugely disappointed, junior linebacker Sione Taufa will still have one more season. Kobe Moanane will not.
You know, it was dragged out that we were going to have a season, so there's still hope. But now that it's canceled, you know, it's just heartbreaking for us and all the seniors.
Fortunately for Kobe, he had already made his mark, and a scholarship is still in his grasp as talks continue with several top universities. But whether he gets that opportunity or not, Moanane says he'll be a better person for everything that Coach Taltofi has taught them.
Coach David has taught us that football is more than just a game.
And COVID taught them all the need in our community is greater than ever, something they witnessed firsthand taking part in multiple food distribution events.
At first I wasn't really like on top of it. I never really thought of it as a mandatory thing, but the more I go to the distribution, it opens my eyes. It shows me how important it is. Seeing everybody frustrating over this whole COVID pandemic.
It was life-changing for me, you know. I didn't know, like this is the first time that's ever happened in my life, so I didn't know how to deal with it at first. I mean, I learned that, you know, everybody is in need at this time, you know. A lot of people are losing their jobs or their jobs are unstable right now, so I know that with the food distribution that we're doing, it helps them out to save money for their families and save meals for their families.
Although he knows the pain is there and still very real for his players, Coach Taltofi says it's this type of lesson and selflessness that will serve these young men far beyond the playing field.
It's our kids growing in the sense where serving their community, serving others helps them to understand, the environment in which they live in, and it builds their character. Understanding compassion and empathy for others, to realize that it's not all about me, but I receive more for giving more. It is important that we do pay attention to what's happening to our kids and the importance of sports. And sports is not anything better than academics. But sports is just is another branch, that other academic programs are trying to do. It's still a part of education, and it comes down to priority and the reputation of athletics.
I feel like the lesson that we should take from this is to reach out to your community and be a part of your community. Getting out with the food distribution and just activities that we could do as a team and as a school. It just made it easier for me to cope with everything.
Thank you so much, Coach, for all you do, and best of luck to next year's seniors. Hopefully they'll have an opportunity to play. And when we come back, a man who is applying the lessons he learned on the baseball diamond to his new company, Turn 2 Construction. But first, what do you say we have a little fun on the water with the team from Blue Planet Surf?
Fun on the Water, brought to you by Blue Planet.
Aloha, it's Robert with Blue Planet. Today I'm going to talk about water safety and a few important things you should consider before going out stand-up paddling for the first time. So first of all, you really want to consider the conditions that you're going out in. If wind is really calm and there's no waves, you can go out pretty much anywhere, but the best places to go are protected waters, such as here on Oahu, the Hilton Lagoon, Ala Moana Beach Park. On the North Shore, there's Haleiwa River. On the west side, there's Pokai Bay. Those are some really great protected areas to stand up paddle in. Your most important piece of safety equipment is your leash. It connects you to your board, which becomes your flotation device. You want to properly attach it to your board, putting it through the leash string and making sure all 3 pieces of Velcro are on there solid. The other end goes around your ankle, so that way if you fall off the board, you can always get your board back easily and it's not going to float away with the wind. Okay, 2 final notes. First of all, the Coast Guard does not require life jackets if you're using a stand-up paddleboard in Hawaii, but if you're not a good swimmer, definitely wear one. And if you head out into open water, always make sure to go with a friend, bring a cell phone if you can in a waterproof bag, and let someone know where you're going. Okay, now it's time for me to go, and I hope to see you on the water.
Blue Planet. Find paradise.
Fall into delicious flavors at Jamba Hawaii. Try our refreshing blackberry smoothie, boosting your immunity with blackberries, pineapples, and our new oat milk to make it plant-based and nutrient-packed. We also have our new peachy green smoothie, packed with peaches, mango, and healthy greens to keep you going all fall season long. Fall into these 2 plant-based flavors only at Jamba Hawaii.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store.
Welcome back, everybody. Although many businesses have suffered during the pandemic, the construction industry is actually boomed. And one general contractor is taking what he learned as a star baseball player here at Punahou School and now applying it to his new career. A famous quote reads, "Before you can create, you must destroy." Although Landon Nakata has been in the construction industry for many years, he only opened his own business at the beginning of 2020. Turns out it was one of the best things to ever happen to his business. Instead of families going on ski trips for spring break or to Disneyland for summer vacation, many chose to put their money back into their homes.
It seems like people, whether it's a DIY or a renovation for a bathroom, kitchen, a whole home renovation, seems like people are interested in freshening up their homes.
Nakata says taking something decades old and making it new again offers the challenge and the excitement that gets him going every single day. All of it, he says, starting with a good, solid plan.
That's meeting with the customer, listening to what their wants and needs are for the space, and you kind of got to help them picture it. Before I go into build any space, you build it hundreds of times in your heads first, and if you can't see it, you can't build it.
That, he says, is where teamwork comes in, which is something he knows about. His company, Turn 2 Construction, is taken right out of his playing days as a shortstop for Punahou, when he was part of the back-to-back state champion teams of 2004 and 5.
That's right, Turn 2. I'm a big baseball guy. Been playing baseball, my entire life, and since work, I had to grow up. I couldn't stay a kid and play baseball forever. So to keep in touch with the game, I wanted to have that connection still. As a middle infielder shortstop, the double play is that's the exciting play of the game. It can get a pitcher out of the jam. It can get you guys back in the dugout. Just the thrill of turning two with a second baseman, shortstop, and how many people it takes to make it happen, to get those 2 outs.
Transitioning back to Turn 2 Construction, Landon says he takes many of those lessons he learned back in those championship days at Punahou and carries them into his work on a daily basis as a general contractor.
Baseball is relatable to life in many ways. And I'd say the most important thing is, you gotta have heart in whatever you do. It's that drive to get better, and it's that drive to win. In construction, it's also a team you're working with, right? You need your leadoff batter to get on base. There'd be maybe the demolition guys to clear it. People got to perform. They got to get those base hits under pressure. When the customer is pounding you to get it done.
One thing that I really appreciate is he kind of rolls with the flow, so all of my changes that I make, he just kind of, okay.
And finally, the home run, when he gets to hand the keys over to the owner and say, "Welcome back to your new home."
I'm just in awe. I can't even believe this is our house. So I have all of that I owe to Landon.
The home run is a finished product, and that's like coming into the dugout and seeing your teammates, getting those high fives, those chest bumps, and that's a rewarding part, is seeing the customer's face at the end and how happy they are in a space where they can create new memories with their friends and family. So that's a rewarding part for me.
This has been a really big job for us, and having lived in the house over 40 years, it was time for a redo and a refresh. And I think the job that he's done has really opened everything up, and it's made it fit our lifestyle that we need for ourselves now. I am so happy that we decided to go with Landon. I think he's done a really great job. I can't imagine going through this journey with anybody else.
A journey that, just like baseball, is not defined by time, but by the final result.
The thrill I get is a transformation and the process it takes, and all the headaches. You get some late nights, you get some weekends in here. To see it in its final stages is, it's nice. Sometimes you impress yourself to see how nice it comes out. You got to take pride in your work, and I think the customers can really tell that you want to do a good job, and that you want to make it perfect for them.
Tell you what, Landon does some great work, and if you want to turn to yourself, look him up. Maybe you could do a little upgrading in your life. And speaking of upgrading, in this case, the body, up next we meet a man who's selling weights for people who want to get in shape at home. That is, when he can get them.
Every story has a journey, carried by the dancing wind. It is a soft explosion, echoing in the hearts of those that love. When open arms take flight, spread your love against the dark of night. Live for hope, long for passion. Live, love, 7 for life.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by Vacations Hawaii, Hawaii's favorite connection to Las Vegas.
Hey, welcome back to Sports People Hawaii. We already talked about the boom in construction. There's another business that's booming, and that's home gyms. People wanting to work out at home, stay safe. But there's one problem that maybe Kevin Yoshida can help you with. When customers first walk into Kevin Yoshida's Kaka'ako store, the first thing they notice is this piece of workout equipment, which is quickly followed by a disclaimer. I do notice that you have a couple plates over here, right? Right? Not for sale.
This is for my personal use. I don't want to sell it. I need stuff for myself to work out.
Although he has a wide selection of equipment ranging from gloves and belts to weighted balls and much more, customers were all coming in for one specific item.
Primarily the weights, and like I said, they're still in demand. We just can't keep them in stock. As soon as a shipment comes in, they get sold out literally the same day.
Yoshida says he shut down at the beginning of the pandemic, but then when he learned he was deemed essential because he sells nutritional supplements and vitamins, he reopened. And so did the floodgates.
When the pandemic hit, we just started selling stuff like crazy. People, weren't able to go to the gym, so people wanting stuff for home, workout equipment, and it was just amazing. We can't keep things in stock to this day, actually.
He says he heard the same story over and over from customers who decided they wanted to avoid the gyms for the safety of their own home. Former University of Hawaii and NFL football player Rich Miano is among them.
We were blessed. We were going to Core Power Yoga. We had a membership at UFC gym and all these other places for years, 24-hour fitness. I'm one of those people that will pretty much try anything, but not a gym during these times.
People like Miano created a huge challenge for Yoshida, one that he could never have expected.
Yes, it was kind of a little hard thing to do in the beginning. We normally love to service our clients. Service is everything here. But it may sound blunt, but we were telling people we couldn't keep up with taking names and numbers, making those calls, because there's literally thousands of people looking for product.
There's absolutely no equipment. You sign up on a list. When it comes in a month on the ship, it's gone that first day, so you have to get in line. So there's actually no inventory anywhere I know on Oahu, probably the state of Hawaii.
Because of that, Yoshida created an Instagram page posting all arriving shipments. And although he still struggles to bring in all the equipment he wants and needs, he says it's still gratifying to help people keep both their bodies and their minds in tune.
It actually feels really good. There's some people who they don't understand and they get upset when they can't get product, but the majority of people who get stuff and when they write a review on our Instagram page and tell us thank you, it really means a lot. That's what makes everything full circle.
Obviously, to be able to afford a gym is a luxury and be able to work out at home is a luxury, but I'll be watching you know, Sunday football for 9 hours during playoffs, and I'll be able to ride the stationary bike. So having a gym at home has been a tremendous advantage, the silver lining in this COVID crisis.
Right on, Kevin. Thank you very much. If you're looking to get fit at home, better keep his Instagram page right there in your phone, ready to go. And that does it for this edition of Sports People Hawaii. Until next time, everybody, I'm Howard Dashevsky telling you to stay fit, stay safe, and we'll see you around the corner on Sports People Hawaii.